Hello student, welcome to programming mode. I am back with one more video for you. In this tutorial, we will learn that how to make a stopwatch, uh, digital stopwatch using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Uh, Before starting my video, if you are new in my channel, so please like, subscribe, and share, and press bell icon button. So now let's start. I have three files. One is index.html, second is style.css, and the third is app.js for JavaScript, for CSS, and for HTML. Now, first I make a basic structure of stopwatch and then styling and then using JavaScript. In the body tag, first link my JavaScript file, script source app.js. Now, in my JavaScript file, we need a space for creating my stopwatch. So I make a div. I think you know about what is div. Div is the space uh, on my web page. Where is the space? Means how much space will occupy a stopwatch in my uh, web page. Simple div class, initialize the class name main. Simple. And in the main div, I make another div. Name is simple div and h1 for heading. Stop watch. I make one more variable. I make one more div for minutes, seconds, and milliseconds. I think you know in the stopwatch you can see minutes, seconds, and milliseconds. Now h1 multiplied by 3 means I need three headings: 0, 0, and 0. I I will make one more div for buttons. Means I need a buttons for the start when I want to start the stopwatch, click on the start button. When I want to stop the my stopwatch, so stop button and pause button. Also, also make a pause button. Now make one more div. Mm, this div. I think I have not closed this div. Here is my yes. Okay. This div is stopwatch close. Ooh. This div open and this div close. T. This div open and this div close. This div open and this div close. Got it. Open, close, open, close. One more div. I need one more div. Div for buttons. Need three buttons. Sorry. Multiply by 3 means 3 buttons. One is for start, one is for stop, and one for reset. Now I have a basic structure. Right click on my HTML file and I want to see the basic structure on my stop for reviews and file explorer and open with Google's. Now you can see that the basic structure of my stopwatch is ready. Simple stopwatch and my three buttons: start, stop, and reset. Style 3, sorry, style 3 dot css. And now you can see that there is no color. Simple. Now I want that this three zeros means this zero is for minutes, this zero is for second, this zero is for millisecond. Now I want that this three zeros now converted in inline blocks. This is the block level element, and I want to change this block level element into inline element. So use CSS and target this H1 heading. This H1 heading. H1 display inline blocks. Now you can see that my this three zeros is converted to inline blocks. So I think you have to understand this how to convert the inline block level element into inline block. So simple. I want to target this main div using class, and now I want to access the class of the div using dot keyword text align center means I want to see all the text in my center of the web page. Now you can see that my stopwatch is center. Now I want to add some background color in my stopwatch. So background color yellow as well as good yellow. Yeah. Wow. Now I want to decrease my div width. So width with 40% is maximum, I think. Sorry, 40% is maximum. Yes, I want to add some background color in my minute, second, and millisecond. So background color, simple. Sorry, yellow is not good. Not black and white as well as good. This is not bad. Yes. Now my basic structure of stopwatch is ready, and I want to add some hovers effects in my button on my button. So target the buttons, button tag, and hover, background color, mm, mm, background colors pink. Yes, pink is not bad. Now my HTML. Now add some IDs in my HTML tags. H1 ID is for access this headings on in my JavaScript file access. This is for minutes ID. This is for second and ID. This is for second means millisecond. Got it? Now button on click event. Use on click event for the start, and I will make a start function in my JavaScript file, and again make event on click and stop function. I will make a stop function on my JavaScript, so I can add on click event stop reset on click reset function. I will make reset function on my JavaScript, so I have to add this reset function in my add event on click event. I think this is now start the JavaScript file. First, I need three variables for increment the minutes, seconds, and milliseconds. So I'll declare a variable name var minutes 0 and var seconds 0 value and var millisecond 0 second 0, and I need one more variable, need intervals var intervals. uh, I I know I am not initialize the value of intervals now. I'll make a function for increment the minutes, sorry, for increment the millisecond, sorry. So function name function timer, simple timer name, and increment the minutes, sorry, millisecond plus plus, and access the millisecond access the millisecond headings, and and this increment value is initialized in this sorry, I forget some lines after this initialize the value. So var minute heading. If you want to access the minute heading, so first initialize the minute heading variables and use document dot get element by id method, and I think you know that, how to make this id in my headings. First minutes, so use minute heading, sorry, so we have to use minutes id, second id, and millisecond id. First add minute, and same I'll copy, control V, and again control V. Now minutes second heading and MSEC heading means millisecond heading. Now change the id name, because I'll make the id names, all the headings id is different. So am second. I think you understand the this lines, 3 lines code. First heading for axis minute heading, second heading for minute axis second heading, and the millisecond heading axis the millisecond heading value. So again, back to my function. Millisecond increments, I will increment the millisecond because I want to add counter in my millisecond heading. So m second dot m second heading dot inner html, means inner html is the keyword for access the headings paragraph in my html. So millisecond, millisecond simple. So function is start, first line increment the millisecond, means millisecond value is 0 and the millisecond value is 1, and the millisecond headings value is on change with this millisecond value. So this is the main line. Set interval is the default function in my JavaScript. Set function required two parameters. One is functions, and the second is for time intervals. Means my function is timer. So I write timer function name, and the second is for number, for that how much time that this increment, and the please keep in mind that the second first is function name and the second is timer, sorry, and the second is counter, that how much time after the set interval running. Means if I write 100 millisecond, keep in mind that the time is always in millisecond. So 10 means 10 milliseconds. Control S, go to my uh, file. No, there is no. Now go back to again. You can see that my millisecond heading is running very fast. Now I think you know that 1000 millisecond is equals to 1 second. So again, go back to my, sorry, and this set interval function is initialize a variable interval. Now using if condition for stop the millisecond after 1000 and increment the second when the value of millisecond is 1000. Now increment the seconds, and the second and the 60 second is completed. Now add minutes. Now if condition using milliseconds greater than is equals to 60, sorry, 1000, second plus plus, and second sec head dot inner html is equals to seconds plus, sorry, seconds, simple seconds, and the value of millisecond is 0. Now I think you understand that how to initialize the value of millisecond, because the value of second is 1. So again restart the counter of millisecond, that I will initialize the value of millisecond is 0. Go back my this, you can see, sorry, hundreds, sorry, 100 millisecond is equals to 1 second. Good. My second is running and my millisecond is always is also running. You can see that my button is not working in currently, so I'll add some behaviors in on my buttons. My stopwatch is perfectly running now. When the value of second is 60, now increment the minutes. So again use else if condition for increment the minutes. If uh, second greater than is equals to 60, minutes plus plus, and minute min head means minute heading dot inner HTML is equals to minutes value, and the value of second is 0, because second is again 0 starting, seconds is equals to 0. I think you understand this lines. Minutes means minutes increment when the value of second is 60. Now value of minutes in increment means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and seconds is equals to 0 means the value of second is 60. Now again go back to 1, 0 and start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now reload, and you can see that I will wait for 1 minute for this stopwatch behavior. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, and 1. My stopwatch is perfectly running. Now I have complete my stopwatch. Now I will add the start for starting and reset for reset. Make 3 functions. Function for start and one more function for stop. I will make function for stop, sorry, and one more function for reset, function for reset. Start means these functions need the this timer, means when I press start button, the function is running, means this line set interval is running. So the copy this function, uh, copy these lines and write this line in between this function. Control S, and now you can see that my stopwatch is not running, but if I press start button, you can see that my stopwatch is running, means my start button is perfectly. Stop means there is no stopwatch, sorry, there is no stop, means my stop is not a stop when I press stop button. So I need travel stop function, and clear intervals is the default function, and I will pass the interval value. Clear interval is used for stop, means the my stop is running, and when I press stop button, the clear interval function is running and stop the watch at the moment. Now start, and if I press stop, you can see that my stopwatch is pause. When I start, my stopwatch is running, and reset, also need reset. Reset means all the value is 0. Minutes value is equals to 0. Seconds value is equals to 0, and also milliseconds value is also 0, and start and no stop and reset. No, reset is not working, and this value is initialized in the on this heading. Minute sorry, min head dot in HTML is equals to minutes, sec head dot in HTML is equals to seconds, and also millisecond dot inner HTML is equals to m second, milliseconds. Control S. Start button is start my stopper, stop is stop, and reset. All the values reset. You said there is no reset value. There is no sort. After clicking stop, then I reset. There is some errors, means some is ambiguity. So solve this. You can see that if I press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, you can see that my stopper is very fast running. This is stop is no, stop button is not working. So I can solve this, means if I want to solve this problem, first when I press the start button one times, then disable this function. When I press the stop button, then enable this start button, because I need start button for starting the again start my stopwatch and reset. So there is some errors. Now solve this. Now initialize the ID. This start button and stop button. Start and ID name stop and access the number sorry buttons on my JavaScript file. Var e equals to document dot get element by ID start dot disable is equals to disable. And if I press the start buttons, my start button is when I initialize the value my start button value is initializing this variable e is disabled when I press start button. So e is the variable dot disabled is equals to disabled means sorry e dot disabled is equals to true. Sorry, true means when I press the start button, my after one click, my start button is disabled. Disabled value is T. When I press stop button, my start button value is sorry, start button disable value is false, because I want to again access my sorry, I want to press again my start button. So e dot disabled equals to false means now again start. You can see that my there is no ambiguity means it is not working when I press one click. If I press the stop button, you can see that my start button is enabled. Again, start button and disabled. Now reset button, sorry, stop and reset. Reset button, clear ever pair interval is also added in my intervals and start, stop. This is my perfect stop first. Start, stop, reset. Start, stop and reset. I hope that you all understand the codes of stopwatch using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And if you want to add more style using more CSS and as well as and also add bootstraps for responsive. This is also responsive. This is responsive. So please, if you like my videos, please subscribe, like, and share, and press the like button.